Good afternoon, and welcome to the October 25th, 2016 meeting of the Architectural Review Board. The Architectural Review Board is a 9-member board appointed by the City Council and serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is the petitioner for each item will be asked to come forward, state your name for the record, and present his or her request. The board will ask any questions they may have. Then anyone wishing to speak to the proposal will be asked to come forward and voice their opinions. Each side will have 10 minutes to speak. Once your request is heard and the board's decision is rendered, you may leave the meeting. However, if you have any questions for staff, please wait until after the meeting is over to ask them, or you may contact the staff at the office the following day. Once public testimony and discussion for a particular item has concluded, the members of the board will deliberate and will render its decision. Members with a personal or financial interest in any request are required to recuse themselves from voting. All decisions by the Architectural Review Board are final. Any aggrieved parties may appeal the decision of the board to the City Council within 15 days. Petitioners may also appeal the board's decision to the Circuit Court within 30 days of the meeting. We have 6 board members present. Because of the number of members present, if you have any, if you would like to delay your request, please let us know at the time that it is announced. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce the members of the Architectural Review Board. Ms. Elizabeth Brown, Reverend Willie Welch, Attorney John Hayden, John Foshee, and Katie Williams, and myself, Walter Bush. Our planning control staff, Christy Anderson, Paula Richardson, Russell Stringer, and Robert Smith. I believe we have a quorum. We have 6, so that's enough to take care of business for today. At this time, I will ask if everybody seen the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any corrections that you'd like to make on those minutes? Any corrections? Any deletions? Any corrections? Well, if no one having any objection, those minutes stand approved. Before we begin, I would like to mention that number 5, I think, has been removed from the docket. So if you were here for that, you may leave if you like. Let's start off with item number 1, presented by Sellers Jackson. Request for approval of rear yard parking pad for the property located at 534 Thorn Place, Old Cloverdale. All right.
That's simple.
Okay. All right. Well, that seems like he's not here. Okay, let's go to the next item. All right, item number 2 by John Phillips, request for approval of an awning with support posts for the property located at 1919 South Hull Street, Garden District. You may present your case.
Yes, sir. Thank you for hearing me. I've got some drawings here. What we would like to do.
Please announce your name.
Oh, I'm John Phillips.
Okay.
I own Phillips Metal Works, and we would be constructing the iron work that goes with this. What we've done, we've worked with Phillips Sides Architect and James Mansell to design something that's appropriate to the setting. And we basically we would just want a canopy to extend over this, what I would call a naked porch area. One, for practical reasons, to keep the rain out of the doors. But 2, so that you've got a meeting area for people in this area of assembly. pretty much, we would install the iron post, and they would follow behind us and install an awning over the top of approximately 200 square feet. The fabric would match the house, and it would, the whole thing is designed to kind of melt in with the architecture that's there and enhance it rather than look like it's been added on.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the board?
Is it?
Nice,
Go
complete,
ahead, ma'am.
easy to make a decision.
Oh, thank you.
Any further comments? Any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Okay. Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor? All opposed? Your project has been approved. Good luck.
Thank y'all very much.
Item number 3, Ben Blanchard. Request for approval of fence and tree removal and replacement for the property located at 2444 Voltaire Street and 2425 East Cloverdale Park, Old Cloverdale. You may present your case.
Good afternoon. I'm Ben Blanchard,
Okay.
and I'm requesting the removal of some sweet gum trees in my backyard and putting up a shadow box fence, and then one tree in my front yard that's actually an overgrown holly bush.
Do we have any comments from the board?
The fence is just gonna go between you and the house on Voltaire?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, and there's an existing shadow box fence that run parallel to the two properties, and so this is separating them perpendicular, so matching the fencing on both sides.
What's the height of the fence?
6 feet.
6 feet?
Okay. Mr. String, do we have any comments on the tree?
Yeah, they're hackberries, not sweet gums.
Okay.
They're big enough to be reviewed, but not monstrous anyway. They're all healthy, otherwise he wouldn't be here. So far as the replacements offered, if you're looking for a one-to-one replacement, both dogwood and red maple are going to be poor performers. People are welcome to plant them, but if you're looking at a requirement, you might want to require a tree that you know is going to make it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Mr. Blanchard, aren't you proposing oaks?
I am. It was a couple of oaks, a maple tree, and a dogwood.
And you don't, Mr. Stringer, you don't think a dogwood would fare well?
As far as I know, there's only one little old lady in Montgomery that can plant dogwoods and get them to live, and I'm not sure she's still with us or not. I can't do it, and I'm an expert.
Maybe something like redbud, which seems to survive our heavy soil.
Yeah, the oaks will be fine. The redbud will be fine. I just know dogwood does not. You know, try it if you want to. If it's a requirement, you might want to require something more long-lasting. Oh, you know, wish you all the luck in the world with it if you get to work. Call me.
Yes, sir. It was that one you may remember close to the house, and so had a lot of shade. And so I was just trying to think of a tree that would grow
Redbud.
well in the shade.
Redbud's very good.
Okay.
Shade tolerant. For that application.
Okay. Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the floor?
Hey guys, Tony Hickman, Old Cloverdale Association. Ben came and discussed his project with us at the Old Cloverdale meeting last week, and we had no issue with it.
Okay, thank you. Any comments any further comments from the board? Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the application as submitted, and Mr. Blanchard, if you'd like to consult with Mr. Stringer about something other than a dogwood, I'd don't think that would be a problem either. But yes, if you get one to live, please let us know, because I'd like to see it myself.
Okay.
Dalreda, I think you have to move to Dalreda.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? Your project has been approved, pending those trees.
Thank you.
All right. Our next presenter, Betty Talley, request for approval of chain link fence, storage building, handicap ramp, and security doors for the property located at 122 South Lawrence Street, Garden District. You may present your item.
Okay, I'm Betty Talley, and I'd like to get the chain link fence to tie in with the chain link fences that are on either side of my house, and the storage building to put out in the backyard. I'm not requesting for the handicap ramp. I'm decided just to get one of the portable ones and not build a permanent one, and security doors for my front door and my side and back door.
Do we have any comments from the board?
Are you still doing the storage building?
Yes.
Ms. Talley, have you decided on the type of doors that you're going to install in the storage building? I really don't have a problem with the building. I got one myself, but.
Just a wooden door with a good latch and lock. Is the only
Is
thing
it going to
I
be a
can think
double
of.
door so you can pretty much open it up, store
Well, it'll be a wide door.
a single door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a sketch of, I guess, what you're proposing to use as security doors, front and back?
Yes, it
You-
matches the front door.
Okay. You don't happen to have a photograph of it, do you?
No, the person that did my burglar bars drew me up a sketch of what it will look like.
And we have that. I'm
Yeah.
kind of an analytical person, so I need to sometimes see it. It looks, from the sketch,
It's
it
really,
looks-
it's
looks
pretty
good.
much gonna match your wooden doors that you've got there.
Yes, it will
but
match the wooden door.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And you're talking about a 8x10 structure?
The storage building?
Yes.
Matching like the boards going vertical and the eaves,
Okay.
and it'll be painted white, and the shingles will match the shingles on the house.
Yeah.
And I asked you about the door for the storage building, ma'am, because your sketch had a double front door on.
Oh,
on
it
the-
did, didn't it?
Yes, ma'am. And you just want a single oversized door? Is
Either
that your-
one would either, could I make up my mind when it's time to build it, or do I just have to say, yes, I want a wide single door?
I really don't think it matters. It's more of a preference, I think. The storage building is going to be in the back of your property. It's not going to be exposed to streets or anything, or the
No.
view, anything like that.
Well, yeah, I guess it would, where I have decided to put it, it would be like down the side of the house where the driveway is, you would see it. But I can move it over.
It's gonna be at the rear of the lot, though.
Yeah, and that's what I thought, and ma'am, my storage shed is exactly what you're saying right now. If you look straight down your driveway, you can see it, but it certainly doesn't stand out or anything like that. Okay, I understand.
Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Again, any comments from the board? Chair entertain a motion.
I move we accept the proposal as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion that's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? The motion has been approved.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, skipped over number 5. Okay, our next item presented by Chambliss King Architects, request for approval of demolition of non-original exterior additions. This is after the fact, and the other exterior alterations, new entries, alterations to the courtyard, signage and lighting, alterations to front canopy for the property located at 344 Montgomery Street, Jeff Davis Hotel. You may present your case.
Hello, my name is Mike Schaus. I'm representing, actually with Chambliss King Architects, representing Gulf Coast Housing Partnership, who is our client for this project. Tom Champion behind me is their representative. Just real quickly to introduce the project, this is right now the Jefferson Davis Housing project that is across from Troy State's campus, was formerly the Jefferson Davis Hotel. This has gone through a process of tax credits and certain types of fundings over the last few years to get basically an accelerated maintenance project funded. And the intent of the project was to, the primary focus of the project is the interior units to update finishes and kind of bring a level of quality up at a faster pace. The current project and owner was doing accelerated maintenance but at a slower rate, and so this project is kind of some exterior improvements along with an interior accelerated maintenance. And with that exterior improvements, as mentioned in here, is the demolition of 2 non-historic canopies that were added to the buildings somewhere in the 1970s. And we've got some existing openings that are storefront openings right now that we're returning back to a more historic design and proportion. And I do have a couple comments. If in the department's comments there is reference to a vinyl beadboard soffit, and that's a drawing error, and I would not want to propose a vinyl soffit in front of each of you. So the intent there is to seek approval for a hardy board or cementitious product that won't require refinishing. It'll be a painted product. Certainly not vinyl. I can follow the images here at this point, but as stated in here, it's the exterior demolition after the fact of a addition along the back that was an old bank building that included a drive-through. That brick, having removed that brick, the historic facade beyond that was covered up is in place and intact. And so our plan there is to repoint and patch with the like brick, as well as the canopy, and you can kind of see it in this image here, the attached canopy on the second kind of front facade that has the arches here. That canopy was also removed, and there is the existing cast stone spandrel is still intact, which was good to see. So there's very little scope of redo on that facade, more cleaning and removing adhesives. There will be a small portion of cast stone that we do have to patch. And then the other openings are door openings that are proposed on the front and rear, and in the drawings is just an elevation of the jams and the type of construction we plan to use, and those were derived from from the historic photos of the Jeff Davis Hotel, and pretty consistent with what we're used to seeing. It's got 14, 16 inches of a bottom panel before we start putting glass in, and it'll be all wood construction with painted finish.
Mike, do you have that second document you can pull up that shows the drawings? It'd be for 344 Montgomery Street.
It's a separate document in the same DVR folder.
Michael, are historic tax credits being used on this project?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all are having to comply with Department of,
Yes, we do have,
Yes.
we've gotten our initial submission to the National Park Service for the first set of work, and there were a couple things. Replacement of windows was one of them that we are adding on as an amendment to this, and that's a package that we've got in there too. Yeah, if you can go to, if you can zoom into the upper middle portion of that page, that will give you a sense of the elevation. Yeah, and you can see, if you look at drawing number, if you can scoot over to the middle of that page. Drawings number 10 and 11, front entry, new, there you go. Right there. It's tough to see the images right here, but there's a photograph next to drawing number 10 and a photograph below that are both a picture of the entry system. And it's a storefront entry right now, so we're just going to remove it. We want to go back with a more historic entry. And then the reference in drawing 11 references an existing window head and jamb, and those are actually still intact. They're trim pieces. You can't see it. They're in another image there, but we don't plan to replace the trim around the rear entry. It's just the door construction. Yeah, you can see that in the image if you keep scrolling down right there. Right. So in that place right now is a hollow metal frame or steel door, hollow metal frame. Just all that's coming out, but the existing and size of the opening is going to stay the same. Do I need to elaborate on anything else? I think I got everything that was proposed here. I do want to mention the alterations to the courtyard. There's currently kind of a brick courtyard kind of overrun with weeds and things that's tucked kind of back into the lot. And all we're wanting to do there is add an awning and redo some planting in that area.
On the front canopy that was taken off, it's not being replaced.
The side canopy along Montgomery Street or along Katoma Street is not being replaced. No, it was a kind of a 70s brick and steel bar joist kind of tack on to the existing building. And from the existing photos, let me see. Do you have images of the corner of the building? Yeah, you can scroll down to those elevations there, and I can reference from those elevations. Go up, up. Oh. There we go. So yeah, if you look at the facade in the middle, that's the primary facade, but the secondary facade along Katoma is really, I guess they're both front elevations. They're detailed similarly, but if you look in the middle of the left elevation, that right there was steel bar joist construction with some of the brick similar to the 70s edition, kind of a blonde tonal brick, and that was attached. Oh, if you scroll to the upper left-hand corner of that document, you'll see some of the closer up image documentation of both of those.
I guess I was looking at the south elevation.
Oh.
Is that staying like it is, or was it?
The south elevation is staying like it is.
Okay.
We would actually hope to restore that canopy completely if we could find the funding for it, because it's, you can see where they stuccoed in and kind of filled in all the balustrade. So I hope to ask for permission to fix that one day, but right now we can't. So we're doing our best on the soffit on the exterior, which they put a lay-in ceiling and put in some 2x2 light fixtures. So, yeah, so I think that the kind of overarching comment is I hope I'm not doing anything historically inaccurate, and that we are excited about everything we're proposing. It's been a long time coming, and put a lot of work into getting this going, so it's exciting.
Do we have any comments from the board? Any comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly seconded. Are there any unreadness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor? All opposed? All recused? Okay. The motion has been passed.
Great, thank you.
Great job, Jeff.
Leverage project. Is that it?
Oh, there's a really mean guy I could do.
Okay, we have our next presenter, Russell Stringer, request for approval of tree removal and replacement in the city right away in the front of the property located at 1809 Ridge Avenue, Old Cloverdale. Mr. Stringer, you may present your case.
All right, I am Russell Stringer, and I love trees. Don't you always hear that?
Yes.
All right, 1809 Ridge Avenue. I have been in many conversations with the owner at that address, talking about removing the invasive Chinese tallow tree and replacing with a tree more appropriate to Old Cloverdale, in keeping with the street tree master plan as it applies to historic districts.
Are you sure these aren't the state champion Chinese tallow trees, Russell?
No, I know of much larger
All right.
Chinese tallow trees.
This is out of my scope. Do we have any further comments from the board? Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Chair entertain a motion.
Move to approve as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion that's been moved and properly seconded. Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? All recused?
I meant to raise my hand.
Okay, okay, you
I'm
approve?
for it,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, the project has been approved. Good luck with your project.
Thank you, board.
All right.
Mr. Chair, can we go back to number 1?
Can we go back to number 1? Okay. Let me, okay. Let's go way back, okay. All right. Our next presenter, Sellers Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Request for approval of a rear yard parking pad for the property located at 534 Thorn Place, Old Cloverdale. You may present your case.
It's about a 2,000 square foot area that we're trying to make off-road parking for the tenants that we would have in these 2 units. We would put a crusher run gravel lot off of the easement road off of Ridge Avenue, contained by railroad ties. We haven't had to take down any trees to be able to put this in, but we have actually had a couple trees taken down that we had approved of prior to this. So that is all that we would have done.
Okay. Do you have any comments from the board?
Are you planning to screen with the bushes?
I actually did notice that y'all requested that we do, and we are fine putting up a screening.
Okay, good.
If we had put in the wax leaf viburnum, is that something that y'all would be fine with?
Is that okay?
Okay.
Any further?
Yeah, Mr. Jackson, are you going to do any prep work, or are you just going to line it with the ties and put the, are you going to, any digging or any preparation to get it ready? And I'm asking concerning, looked at it very closely, and I've walked past this area many times. I live in Maston Lane, and there is some concern. It's going to be very close to certain trees. And I don't know, Mr. Springer, if you've had a chance to look it over, or even from the photos, if you thought that, I mean, it's,
I have questions concerning that, and it's going to be contained with cross ties, railroad cross ties?
Yes, sir.
How are those cross ties going to be installed? Are they just going to be
They're going to embed them.
laid on the ground, or are you going to?
I believe they're just going to be laid on top.
All right, if no excavation is done, no trenching to put the, of course now there are going to be places where it won't be level, you'll have to add material. The gravel itself should be fine. Gravel's porous. Gravel, it's not going to, you'd have to drive it.
it's not a concrete pad. It won't keep the trees from getting moisture. And that was why I was asking if you were going to do any prep work. Maybe I didn't ask it right. You're not going to dig anything out down 3 to 4 inches, something like remove any dirt or digging. It might harm any root systems or anything.
No, sir. To the best of my knowledge, it's with the crusher run process, it's just going to be gravel laid out, and then it's going to be flattened, and then add more on top of that.
Okay.
So it will be compact, but it will not be dug down.
Right. Lay down the ties in the way you want it, and then bring in the crushed rock and spread it out until you get it even.
Yes, sir.
We did that at our church and didn't kill our trees. So I'm going to say that should be fine.
Okay.
That's an awful lot of parking in this.
Well, that's the other question I had. You want six cars. This is a duplex. How many bedrooms how many tenants do you have in this particular?
Currently, we don't have any.
Okay.
They're each 2-bedroom, 1-bath units. So we would propose families in each.
If you had one person per bedroom, that would be 4 individuals. Each having one car would be 4 cars. Well, I guess they would have visitors occasionally, probably.
Yes, sir.
One other thing in the application, for the screening purposes, height and installation. needs to be specified. Otherwise, you'll get something plenty big enough where you can do something, so.
What's the landscape ordinance call for? 18 inches?
Yeah, off-street parking, commercial is 18 inches in installation.
Okay, so it needs to be, they need to be at least 1.5 feet tall at installation. You
Okay.
understand that, Mr. Jackson? Okay.
Any further comment from the board? Any comments from the floor?
Tony Hickman, Old Cloverdale Association. We did discuss this at our meeting, and we had no visuals, but just from looking at it, we agree with what y'all are discussing to have the proper screening from the street around the parking area, and we would be fine with that.
Okay.
Any further comment from the board? Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I will move that we approve the request, subject to Mr. Jackson providing proper screening in accordance with, if you need to consult with Mr. Stringer about where to put them and their height. I would move that we approve the request.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? Your project has been approved. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
I believe that's the last on the docket. Do we have anything else?
The last item, I would just call everyone's attention to the fact that we move into the strange time of year where we spend November and December meeting on Wednesdays,
Okay.
on the third week, so to avoid holidays.
Okay. Well, thank you. Any further comments from the board? With that being said, meeting is adjourned.